everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Dance Floor. I'm your host, Ty Nelson, and as always, we are joined by another amazing human. Today we have Cris Huertas. He is the Spark right now? Yes, of course. Part of the Happenings cast here on The Valiant Lady. Cris is spicy. He's a silly guy. He works hard. I really enjoy Cris just all around, and we're very happy to have him on the show today. What's up, Cris?
What's up?
How you doing?
Thank you for the words.
Of course. Now, do me a favor. Introduce yourself as you would to like any stranger on the street or like a sailor. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So who are you?
Well, yes, I'm Cris. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, born and raised. Now living in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, I'm a performer at heart. I enjoy visual arts as well, so I enjoy drawing as well. And yeah, just dancer and host here on board and having fun.
You're a drawer. You be doing some art. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I went to school for graphic design.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Literally never knew that. That's very fun. That's cool.
It's a little secret I don't tell anybody, but I couldn't finish.
Well,
Hey.
it's out there now. Little secret. We can keep it in or cut it out, whatever you want.
No, it's okay. Keep it in.
Beautiful. What is your background as far as dance, whether it be like collegiate, whether you started by watching YouTube videos or, you know, you have a certain place that you went to dance as you grew up? Where does your art come from?
So, dancing, I would say, really it all started when I was growing up. I would be in my family's living room with my little cousin, and we used to be obsessed with the Step Up movies.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, good choice. Yeah.
So we would watch the movies or watch, back in the day, like YouTube videos of people dancing and kind of like doing our own little version of learning their routine, kind of like what the kids do now with TikTok.
Right.
But like
literally, yeah.
Yeah, but like back in the day. And we would just perform it for our family in the living room. So of course, when I pursued the career of dancing, it was no surprise to at least my aunt.
Yeah.
And my mom. They were like, well, we always knew you'd end up there. But I really didn't really grow up training. I never went to school for it or anything like that until I was in high school, when I had a girlfriend.
Okay.
And she was in dance class, and I was like, well, I want to spend more time with her. So I signed up for dance class in my sophomore year of high school. Of course, that didn't, last long, but
And that's all right.
yeah, but I still continued because I don't know, I found passion for it. I liked it, so I still continued. I did sophomore, junior, all the way until my senior year of high school. And then after that, I actually stopped for 2.5 years to 3 years. I focused on graphic arts, graphic design, I should say. And then I did a little bit of everything from on the visual arts field. So I did photography, I did just like drawing, 3D drawing, animation.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Come on, Cris, look at that.
But I couldn't finish because it got a little challenging.
That's okay.
Fun fact, Cris is partially colorblind. So
yeah,
that gave me that gave me a little bit of a hard stop there, and I focused on other things for work until I fell into the world of entertainment at the theme parks, and then that's when I kind of like started that passion again back in 2018 with Universal.
Okay, Universal. I was going to say what theme parks with Universal. Yeah. Have you given any thought to going back into graphic design, especially with the technology we have today of like glasses that let you see color for people that are colorblind? Have you ever thought about that? Or are you satisfied really with dance and the way that things are going in your hosting and your art? Would you ever want to go back and like pick that back up?
That's a good question. I have not thought about going back. I feel very satisfied with performing, and I mean, I didn't have host experience before, so really it all, started with Virgin when I came into Virgin with the hosting part. But yeah, I didn't think about going back. I don't know. I feel like I'm nervous to go back, I feel like I think back at that time and how it felt and how challenging it got for me. And so I didn't want that feeling again because I didn't want to feel
That's valid.
defeated, I guess, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I mean, I never say never, so I feel like I even still keep that a little bit, even with the work that I do now.
Yeah.
I can like download, Canvas or something like that to make posters or flyers or things like that. I actually do it for friends back at home.
Okay, nice.
So I still put a little bit of my graphic design knowledge into work, but
Okay.
not much. I still, like I said, I'm very satisfied with the dancing and the performing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's all right, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just figured something to ask because I know there's like glasses these days that'll let you see colors.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I actually wish that I had gone to school sooner for dance. I'm not gonna lie.
Work.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're out here living your dreams.
Now I'm out here living the dream.
Let's talk about what inspires you. Whether this be like a type of dance or like artistry that you've seen. Like, oh, I remember growing up, I saw this show that really made me want to dance. I like this artist or whatnot. What inspires you in dance specifically?
Oof. Where do you even begin?
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. I would say definitely the Step Up movies. I think
Of course.
that's truly where I got introduced into like dancing.
Do you have a favorite? Step
Yeah.
Up? Which one?
3.
3? Yeah, that's a good one. Is that
Yeah.
3D or 3?
That's 3 Step Up 3 Revolution, I think it is.
Revolution, yeah. That's
If I'm not mistaken. It's actually in Miami.
Oh, there you go.
It's based in Miami.
Oh, when they were trying to like get rid of dancing in Miami, and they do like the big dance in the shipping yard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then like
Yeah.
they use Ocean Drive and everything. I don't know why, but that movie lives rent free in my head this entire time.
You know what? The
What?
final like partner work between the two main characters, the guy girl, where they do there is a home. Na, 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 na. That thing
Yeah.
makes me cry every time. That's a great choice. Okay.
Yep.
Very inspiring.
Yep,
Great
yep,
choice.
yep.
What else besides our Step Up movies?
I would say right now, I feel like in this moment in time, also like watching friends, like really talented friends, and shine on stage. Like I'm like, yeah, I want to be there one day.
Yeah.
But also artists like Beyonce, where they've been performing since they were young, and their work ethic. I mean, her work ethic is insane.
Yeah.
Like I feel like obviously she is a perfectionist, but obviously she knows what she do with her craft. So, I mean, that's really inspiring. So
Yeah.
I'm a big Beyonce fan.
I think that shows why you work so hard too. You admire her work ethic and you show your own work ethic. So
Yeah, sometimes
You're dope.
I'm really hard on myself, I would say.
ugh, let it go. I know it.
I know.
I feel the same way. I was that same way before we started this project. Like I was saying a little bit ago, but you just gotta. Sometimes you gotta let what it is be what it is. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll share this right now on the podcast as well with Cris. So there's a bit of a thing, I guess, a resource you can use. It's the 80-20 method. So this will help with perfectionism. And for those listening, you can listen up, maybe take a note with this. There's 80% of the time where you don't have to be perfect. And that goes for anything. It's like, am I doing this for fun? Am I doing this with friends? Is there just like a good time to be had from this? Is it necessary for it to be perfect? No, 80%. 80% of the things you do doesn't have to be perfect. And really the tagline is like, good is good enough. Like we sometimes try to get things to be amazing and great and perfect. And honestly, the good stuff we do will be good enough for that product, especially in 80% of the case. An example of this, I look back at some of my old dance footage and I was so hard on myself and I go, that was cool. Like I like what I was doing there. And the 20% is like when you have to be perfect. And the only times you really think about that, like 20%, measuring medicine, doing your taxes, things that require real perfection that like have to have an outcome. There's only 20% of your life or 20% of things that you try to do where you have to be perfect. And you just got to decide whether what you're doing is in that 80 or that 20%. And maybe, hopefully, that'll help you guys out. And hopefully, if you think about it that way, like think of 2 baskets and it's like, all right, I'm making this piece of choreography. Am I getting paid for it? Okay, maybe not. Is it going to be online? Okay, sure. But like, am I going to, hate what I'm producing, then maybe it goes in the 80. You know what I mean? Like it's not that imperative that it is perfect. And then sometimes it's like, you know what? I'm out performing for the Sailors. It has to be perfect. And even then, it's like can't be afraid to make mistakes. You know?
Yeah. I feel like that also has a little leeway, but like I would say, I think more on the like audition taped side, then you want it to be like I feel like it has to be like a certain way if you want to be considered for whatever you're like, role you're applying. But that's a good way to just view everything in life. Just not feel like you need to be perfect the entire time. But
we did a really good job filming. We only filmed like 4 times, and we'll talk more about the dance in just a bit.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you overdo that process, the good takes and the good that you did gets lost in all of it. So that's why sometimes perfectionism isn't helpful, because if you're putting the 80% as perfection, that's 80% of the things you got to sift through and look through to find that good enough and the good that you wanted, versus the 20 where it's like, all right, I really put my effort in it being this. So don't get lost in the sauce of trying to be perfect, because honestly, it never really pays off unless it's super specific.
I like that.
Thank you for sharing. I'm going to give, that's kind of my advice, which I don't think I've given a lot in any of the episodes. What advice do you have for people out there? It can be life related, dance related, whatever. It can be a mantra that you maybe say to yourself, or something that someone told you, like a mentor. What is your go-to advice that you like to share with people? It could also be something that's recent. It doesn't have to be like forever that you always use.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely don't give up. I think that's, goes without saying. If you want a goal or you want something in life, don't give up. If you had asked me 3 years ago even, and mind you, I've been working in the cruise ship industry for 2.5 years, so it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
But if 3 years ago you would have told me that I was going to be a professional performer, dancer, and host in a cruise ship, I would have said, you're out of your mind. I'm not good enough.
Oh,
but I went through like a really like hard time, in my life, like at one point, and that just made me realize how much I missed performing, because I wasn't performing for like a little after COVID.
Yeah, okay.
But that made me realize how much I missed performing, and I actually put all of my energy into like going back and taking some like dance classes from friends or anything like at the studios, or keep auditioning for these opportunities, and I ended up getting gig after gig after gig.
Nice.
Eventually landing on Virgin, because I was like, you know what, like I'm not gonna give up, I'm gonna keep going. So don't give up. As performers, if there's another performer listening, I know it's hard and we can do it all the time, but I'd say don't compare yourself to others or what others can do.
Great advice.
Your craft is your craft, and your execution of something is your unique execution. And I think that comparing yourself to however someone dances is, can be a little mentally and emotionally taxing. You don't want to do that on yourself, but also it will put unnecessary pressure on yourself that maybe you don't need. And it goes back to piggybacking from the whole perfectionist thing.
Yeah.
But it's good to admire. I admire like my friends who dance and perform Thai over here. Yeah, dude, I've been with you since the beginning of me being here at Virgin, and so doing like, or watching you do all these cool things like that, like that it's inspiring.
Well,
like you can take that inspiration, but yeah, no, don't compare yourself to others, and have fun. I feel like with anything you do in life, just have fun.
That's super important.
Life is life. I think, nothing really matters. But if you want a goal and that's what matters to you, just make sure you have fun while you are doing it. Because if it feels forced, or if it feels like you're working too hard for it, like in the sense of like, because obviously you want to work hard, but not like to the point where you're like draining yourself too much, or in your mental health. I'm big on mental health. I think that's important.
Having fun.
Yeah.
Well said. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Also,
thank
thank
you.
you very much. You're so
Thank you.
kind for that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Um,
There's
I
not enough
love-
words to say like how much it means to me to do this with you, knowing how much I admire you as a performer and just as a human being. So
Thank you so much, Chris.
you're welcome.
Well, we actually go back to the point where Chris and I were dance battling on what's called Scarlet Night on the ship. And for those of you who don't know, that is the biggest party on Valiant Lady or any of the ships,
Yeah.
really, for Virgin. It's a big red party, and it ends typically, if the weather allows, up on the pool deck, which is deck 15.
Yep.
And Chris and I would get into the pool, gather sailors in the area of the pool which you can dance in, and we would look across the way and we would battle. We would get the dancers and, well, really the sailors, just the people, normal people, to do little dances with us. And Chris was going ham one night when I was sick, and he was battling, I believe it was Rachel at the time.
It was Rachel.
the Glow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rachel the Glow.
Hey.
And what happened to you, Chris?
Well, there's a part. So it used to be like a set track of songs that would play. So
that's
I knew
right.
I knew it like the back of my head.
Oh my God, I forget
a
that.
Hand. What? I don't know.
You know what you meant.
You know
Yeah,
what I meant.
Yeah.
But this night, me and Ty had this bit where we knew Ty had a solo and I had a solo. Mm-hmm. So Rachel did her thing and then I was doing mine. And in this solo, I did a death drop, which normally goes well, but this one night it did not, and I landed wrong on my foot, and I actually broke this connecting bone here on my pinky toe.
Yeah. When
my
I
left
dip,
foot.
you dip, we dip, and then we break our toes. Booyah.
Yep. Well,
But now here we are.
hey.
Went from battling
Came back.
and hurting one another to now doing a collaborative effort, which brings me to the next part of this, actually, the dance that we did today.
Yeah.
What was the song that we used?
So the song's name is Past Life.
Mm-hmm. Who is it by?
It's by Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande. I think the very first, really one of the first, if I'm not crazy, newer artist in this series. I'm probably very wrong. Just for your brain, I've noticed this on I think Annabelle's. I haven't listened to any of the other episodes at this point in time. So I am going off of strictly just memory. So I don't know if this is the first one that's newer, a popper. Hello, a pop. Hello,
Pop.
a pop artist. But yeah, it was very fun. And honestly, when you sent me the song, I was a little, not really concerned, but I was just more so expecting it to be really slow. Mm-hmm. And though it was slow, we found a lot of groove with it, and we had a lot of fun. Truly, I actually really enjoyed this combo, and I don't think I personally ever really danced to Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. I've never really danced to her music. I like her music, but this was the first time I think I've ever put choreo to it. So thank you for bringing it, because it was a lot of fun. Was there a reason that you chose this song?
Yeah. Well, Ariana is one of my favorite artists for sure. I feel
Shout out,
I have my.
She's a friend of the pod. Thank you.
Hey.
Ari.
I have my top 5, girly pops. Mm-hmm. But she's one of them, and Past Life is actually part of her new album of her new era. So she released Eternal Sunshine about a little over a year and a half ago, maybe
Your
a year
guess
ago.
is best as mine.
But when that album came, in that time period of my life, I actually was going through a little bit of hardship in relationships. It was such an album that helped me heal so many parts of myself.
Hell yeah.
And then she releases the deluxe version, which is where Past Life came in.
Fun.
So she released, I think it was an additional 5 songs, and so this one was one of them. And the lyrics, if you listen to the song, there's a part of the lyrics where she says, basically, she would wonder what would happen if she would be the one to let her lose.
That's right. Yeah. I remember hearing that and resonating with that too.
Yeah, so she basically says, I'm going to take all these, negative things that has happened to me, learn from it, and then put it in my past life.
Very good. Also,
You know?
great advice. Look at that.
It does, yeah. And then I love the part where she says, "Oh, you think that I was lost, but that's just how you found me." And I feel like with my fiance currently, hello fiance, shout out when
Shout
you
out.
watch this episode. With when I met my fiance, I felt lost. It wasn't because of him and it was I was already in that
Yeah.
state of mind.
Damn. You know
It's
what?
very deep. It's very deep.
I feel that. I feel that on an emotional level.
Yeah. And talking about emotional, I feel like that's what we put into that dance today. I think it was a very feel good, like, let the music guide you, and
Yeah.
literally is part of the song as well, where it says rhythms of the night consume my body, just let the music confiscate my soul.
And you know what the deepest part about this dance was? When we got a little sexy on the ground. So
Oh yes.
we're so deep, and we're over here like, yeah, no, it was truly awesome.
It has a roller coaster. I think there's actually, Ty, I didn't tell you this, but I want to say this now in camera.
On the pod.
I love the fact that the choreography that we created together showcases the feminine and the masculine side of me. Because before, when I've gotten through the install process and like learning the dances of the shows or stuff that we do here, that was like one of the biggest compliments I got from the install directors, was that they said that they love how I could, turn my feminine side, like when I dance more, and then but also switch it back to masculine. And I think that we accomplished that with this without even like thinking about it.
Yeah. Sometimes it becomes more of a superpower to be able to do both, especially that makes you, I think, a professional as a dancer too, because you don't have limitations on what you can produce as an artist. It's really not even about like a sexual orientation or it's more of a direction of what you're trying to get across. And so I'm happy that it also went that way, because it's also fun to be able to, it's like it really is a spectrum. It's a spectrum of the things that you're allowed to do. And there's other parts in this series where, I did buttons with Caitlin, and that's definitely not really showing off masculinity out of me. So yeah, I vibe with that.
I think everybody should have should be versatile in what they do, and
it's a freedom too.
It has nothing. I believe it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. I mean, actually, if anything, we say feminine or masculine, how the way we dance, because it was just purely based on society, not because.
True.
What is masculine? What is feminine?
Ooh, we're getting into it on the podcast. That's a great question, though. Genuinely, that's a great ask. And you know what? Ask yourselves that, people. If you're wondering, this episode can maybe get into a little bit more of identity. Like, what do you want to do in your art? What do you want to get across? What emotions do you want to invoke? And who do you want to be? We talked about this early in the podcast. I forget which episode, but finding out who you are will always help you produce better art, because it's just authentic to who you want to be. So maybe in this moment, ask yourself, what is it that you want to be? And if you weren't limited by like what other people think of you or societal norms, what would you be and what art would you create? Because sometimes that's when the coolest shit gets made. So ask yourself that.
And that brings me to a good point where I was nervous going into the process of creating and just collaborating on this dance and making that choreo, but you made the space feel so welcoming, and I can't even describe it. It was like, no matter what I had said, like as an idea, you were like so down for it, and you were no, let's try it, like let's and it was and
that's
I think
important. It's important with collab.
I think it gave me like a sense of my brain was going, you know what I'm saying, like my brain was going, like
you were freely like trying new things, because it wasn't like I was like, no, let's not do that. It's like, yeah, sure, why not? I had that with Shelby. Shelby, she doesn't really consider herself like a dancer in any way, but she was like, what if we do cartwheels? I was like, great. What if we do a barrel roll over each other's back? Great. Like, sometimes in collaborative efforts, it's better to not say no and to just try out the idea, because we can get so focused, and again, goes in with perfectionism. We get so focused on something that we have our mind on being this one way that you then lose the opportunity to try new things and to try to have fun. As you said earlier, make you have fun. But for anyone who's out there who's wondering about like getting into collaborative efforts, whether it be dance or even a podcast or whatever, it's all about opening the floor, like the dance floor. Make sure that you allow that creativity to flow. And even in the podcast setting, like sometimes you get so stuck on like, oh, it's got to be this amount of time or we got to touch this space. But having fun and being open to new ideas and trying things out can lead to even better products. So I'm glad that it comes across that way, because I do try and keep that availability for everybody that I work with to put their own ideas into it too. So thank you for saying that.
Of course, I mean it from the heart. So yeah,
you're over here hyping me up, Chris.
Hey,
wow. All right,
I want to tell you about something too.
Tell me, yeah.
Eternal Sunshine was such a like special time in my life that I actually tattooed it.
Where?
It's right here in my shoulder.
Oh, that's actually really cute too. I like the
It says Eternal Sunshine. I know you can't see it, but it's there.
It's on the shoulder. And for the audio listeners, it's a giant piece that takes up most of his neck and on his face. So they'll never know.
No. It's not the face.
It's like the Mike Tyson tattoo. But
top of my shoulder.
It says Eternal Sunshine instead.
Sunshine. You imagine?
If you're really down for it, how big of a fan are you?
Don't tell me it was a good time.
Chris, this has been wonderful. I want to ask you, where can people find you, your Instagram? Where can people find you next? We're hoping to have this available around July, August, so you should still be on this ship.
Yes.
But what's next for Chris the Spark, Chris just as the human?
So I'll start with my Instagram. So my Instagram handle is CRIS.THESPARK. So that's Chris, no H, double S, dot, the spark.
Booyah.
And like you said, I will be here on the ship on Valiant Lady until August 29th.
Oh, see, we got to get these episodes out. We got to get them out.
Yeah. And then after that, I go back home on the 29th, and then I get married on September 1st.
Congratulations. That's going to be wonderful.
And then I'm going to take a nice little vacation trip to LA, where I will be in the Disneyland area, because I'm running the half marathon, the Disneyland half marathon.
Oh, that's sick. You know what? I don't know if I can commit to it on the pod, but I might try and join you on that, because I should still be in LA around that time. I don't think we have another contract until like November. And even then, I'm trying to decide what's coming up next.
Yeah.
But we'll put a pin in that and we'll talk more about it.
Okay.
What else? Is that all really that you'll be being able to enjoy? Because that's a lot of great stuff. I mean, getting married and taking a little vacation, which you deserve.
As of right now, it is in the horizon to take a little vacation on Virgin Voyage's newest ship, on Brilliant Lady.
Fun.
So I'm trying to do the one where it goes from New York to Quebec. It's a 10-day cruise.
Oh, I've actually been seeing ads.
But that one's not finalized yet, because we have to deal with moving first and the wedding and the trip to California. So one step at a time.
One step at a time. People, thank you for listening and watching this amazing dance video. Want to give a huge thank you once again to Chris for coming on and just being his same awesome self. I love Chris. I've known him for a minute. I am your host, Ty Nelson, as always, and we hope that you have found some inspiration within this episode. We talked about a lot of great stuff, and the dance is fun. So learn the dance, do the dance, send us your footage, and we hope that eventually one day we'll find you out on the dance floor. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Ooh, I'm loving this. Wow.